Hey, Alan here for Old English Outfitters, and today we have the Henry U.S. Survival Rifle. Really cool little gun, lots of fun. This gun has some interesting history behind it. Armalite was the original manufacturer of this type of weapon. Eugene Stoner designed it. If you don't know about Eugene Stoner, look him up. Very interesting fellow. He's the guy who's responsible for our current day AR-15 platform weapons. The original weapon was a survival rifle, small game hunting and such, for air crews. In about 1959, they took what they called the AR-7, that was the original designation of this, and they built it as the AR-7 Explorer, sold it to the civilian market. Later, in about 73, I think it was, Charter Arms took it over. They had all sorts of issues with it and ended up dropping it, and Henry picked the design up in 1980 and have been making it since. They've made a few little refinements to it over what the original was. It is a takedown survival rifle, and really interesting in how it takes down and what it's designed to do. Starting from the back here, the buttstock, which has U.S. Survival on the side of it, has a removable butt plate back here. This just pries off. We'll show you here in a minute. It's hollow inside, but it's got compartments for all the components of the gun. Got a relatively thick pistol grip here, and on the bottom of the pistol grip is the nut that you unscrew to take the basic action apart. It has a manual safety right there, which in the back position is on safe and in the forward position is off safe. It will only engage when the weapon is cocked. There's a hooded sort of a peep sight right here, very small, not really a ghost ring, just a small peep sight, small aperture. Just in front of the aperture, and Henry did this, we have some kind of a very small narrow rail. So you could attach a scope system of some sort to that if you wanted to. Although if you do that, it's not going to fit in the buttstock. The charging handle right here is out, but it also pushes in. So it's very low profile. You can operate it from here, but you can pull it out, makes it easier to operate. It's a simple blowback 22 design, like many 22s are. On the reverse side of the pistol grip here, right there, that little knurled piece, that's the magazine release latch. The gun comes with two 8-round magazines. The design is very interesting. The receiver itself does not have a feed ramp. The feed ramp is built into the front of the magazine. When you load rounds in it, you notice they set back a little bit because the feed ramp is the front of the magazine. It just slides right up in there, just like that. There is no bolt hold open. There is no last round hold open. So if you're firing and you run out of bullets and you pull the trigger again, it's just going to click because it will not lock open on an empty magazine. With the magazine in, you just push this lever forward and that lets it come out. Again, it comes with two 8-round magazines. Years ago, they made some different capacities of magazines for the original AR-7. I don't know if any of those exist anymore or not. I'm not sure if they would work in this. Maybe. But the original stuff's probably the most reliable. The receiver is aluminum alloy. It has an anodizing over it. The barrel has a polymer coating over it. And right here on the front, we have a orange polymer front sight. Makes it very easy to see. In shooting it, this aperture is really small. I actually did some plinking with it by just looking over the top of the aperture and picking up the front sight. And it worked okay. You can hit pretty well with it. We shot some Remington and some CCI, hollow points, and round nose ammo out of it. Had no trouble. Different configuration ammo, if it's flat or weirdly shaped on the front end, probably won't work. This is a 22 long rifle, semi-automatic, so use high velocity 22 long rifle in it. You'll probably have no trouble. Now, like I said, this thing is designed to be a takedown, okay? So how do you take it down? Well, first thing you do, of course, is make sure it's empty because we don't want to take it apart if you got a round in it. This is the barrel nut, and this just unscrews. And there's a, pull this off here where you can see it. When you put the thing together, I'm going to pull the barrel out just a little bit. See the little silver piece right there? That slides right down in that notch. That tells you that the barrel's in there straight. Your extractor is correctly oriented. And it seats fully, and then you just put the nut on and screw it down, right? So you take the nut off, the barrel just pulls off. It's that simple. From here, if we go to this nut that's in the bottom of the pistol grip, and we just unscrew it, it's got a large flat knurled, it's not knurled, but it's a large flat piece on it, sort of like a wing nut. It just unscrews. Once it's loose, the action itself comes off the stock. This is captured. It won't fall out if you take it loose. This piece here doesn't have any contraption to do anything with it. You just kind of muscle it off the end like this. The inside is blaze orange in color. That's kind of nice, especially if you're in low light, because you can look inside and you can see where all your components are. So what this is designed to do is you've got two separate slots there for the magazines. Put it in the right way. Goes in like that. Goes in like that. So there's the magazines. The barrel slides down, and there's a notch in there that protects the front sight. So the barrel slides all the way down in there like that. And the rest of the action, make sure the cocking piece is closed, goes in there like that. So the whole thing goes in the buttstock, and then you just put the backpack on. It is designed, because of the way this is hollow, it's got some buoyancy to it, so it will float. Now, it may not float forever. It's not going to be totally watertight, because this does just pops on, okay? And this section here eventually could start to fill up. So it'll float for a while, though. So if you were in a canoe, for example, or something, and you got dumped, you'd still have this. Now, I have a friend who has one of these, takes it to Maine every year, goes canoeing. He always has a tether, a safety cord attached to this, usually around the pistol grip, and hooked to his vest, so that if the canoe gets dumped, this thing will float for a few minutes. He can recover it. It won't drift away. Smart idea. Really cool little gun. To put it, and it comes with, by the way, it comes with this nifty little box that had a carry handle on it. So if you wanted to put it in the box, it just goes right in there. You can carry it around real easy. Retail price, by the way, is $269, so it's not bad. It's not an expensive gun at all. You go to put it back together, it's just as simple as when you take it and you take the components out, and pull these out of here just so they don't fall out. This just slides right down in the slot, real easy, kind of self-indexing, and you just tighten the screw back down. It's not like a bayonet lug or anything where it just turns. You have to actually screw it in place. Once that's solid in place, take the barrel, put that on, and again, you got that indexing point up there on the top of the rear end of the barrel where the chamber is. That'll slide down and slide inside that notch, and just tighten the barrel nut, and you're ready to go. Load the magazines and take off. Now, one thing I'm going to mention that we noticed was kind of interesting. With the barrel on there, indexing notch is correct as it should. It looked to me like the front side of the barrel was all just slightly off to the left. Didn't really affect shooting with it. It hit fine to point of aim, looking through the peep, or like I was doing over the top. So whoever's built it knows what they're doing. They've got it correctly set up. So don't let that bother you. Really neat little gun. A lot of history behind this. It turns up occasionally. It's been in a few movies, TV shows, things like that, just because it's got that cool factor, right? It's kind of space age looking, especially years ago it was space age looking. Still is to a little bit, right? And then, of course, the fact that it takes down is just very unique. Really cool little gun. If you like this concept or have a need for something like this, in an emergency, you could have this thing packed up and put in a backpack or something, and it's not going to take up any significant space. Doesn't weigh hardly anything at all. I don't know what it weighs, but it's not very much. Maybe 3-4 pounds at the most. So it's very convenient to take along and do things with. Like I said, Henry set this up so you can put some sort of additional sighting system up here, but it's not going to fit in the buttstock if you do that. You may have to take it off. So it kind of defeats the idea behind what it's designed to be. So it just depends on what you want to do. Anyway, these are pretty cool. We thought we'd show those to you and see what you thought. So that's all we have for this time around. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I'm Alan for Old English Outfitters.